Good evening, everyone. And this is the HPS stock watch list, members stock watch list, and the S&P update and future update market radar going into the week of. Actually, it'll be the last week of April, the first week of May. So tomorrow's the 29th, then we have the 30th, and then we have the beginning of May. So we might have the jobs report on Friday. Looks like this coming Friday, and then we also have the FOMC rate decision on Wednesday. I'm not sure if we have that's two big events, and that should be good. I sent out a video earlier. If you didn't get the video, look for it on trading into the FOMC rate decision and how I'm going to trade that. I'm going to open up 4 prop accounts. We're going to take a couple gambles into the rate decision, and FedPal's conference. I heard someone knock on the door for a second there, so I had to. The press conference afterwards, after the statement, the FOMC rate decision statement and press conference, 2 o'clock and 2:30. So, but this video focuses on the stocks. It focuses on the stocks we're looking forward into next week, and stocks that we've been trading and what we're holding. So the S&P here, I usually start off just taking an overview of the overall markets, and we've had a pretty interesting reversal over the last couple days. We had that nice bounce, a nice little sell-off gap down, and that big gap down reversed. There was the GDP, there was some other economic indicators coming out, and market sold off pretty hard. Oh, it was also earnings. It was earnings, and I believe what got caught on the earnings. It was definitely Facebook was out and didn't do well. A couple other ones didn't do well. And then earnings came back the next day, and a lot of stocks did pretty good. Google was one that led it. Microsoft. Looking back at all this, you can see that we do look at the couple of the things that we've been looking at. It are the stochastics, and the last 3 times we've gotten oversold on these. Here, back in November. Here, back in January. And then here we just circled it. And look at the bounce we've already gotten. A little fake out pullback, and then a follow through. Truth is, this looks long. This looks strong. Even though we're going into May, and May is typically a down month, historically, a presidential election year, is that we're going to get a pullback. It usually happens in May. It's one of the weaker months of the year, but hey, it doesn't, that's just statistics. It's this might happen, might just keep on going up. It looks very strong. I'll be trading it day by day, minute by minute. But right now, I have to say things look a little bit more bullish with all stochastics rotating higher. The daily here, nice reversal. Even the weekly starts to look a little bit better. The weekly looks like a nice little flag. It held the 20-period moving average. So this is all good. Looks good. It looks very healthy. It looks like if this was going to be a mega rally and starting here, this is like the second pullback. We had that nice pullback here in January 22 to all the way to 23, and then we're starting to rally. We have a flag. Should get another flag, and another flag, and we'll be up here at 7,000 before you know it. It was really good. All right, individual stocks. Let's just go over what we did this week. New positions and sold positions. All right, one of my best trade of the week was the fast one. It was done by me and one of the members, I believe. Who was that? That was the yes, it was one of our Zoom calls. I think it was George the Greek, I call him. And we were talking about aerospace defense stocks, and I was looking through some, and I said, I just did some charting with him during our Zoom session, and a couple popped up on my screen. MOG, MOG, we're looking at guidance systems and stuff, and this was MOG, and it was a very strong flag right here. So right where we circled is where I got in, and as you can see what happened to it, we happened to catch earnings on it, and it popped, and we got in at 157, right where pretty much where that circle is, 157.03, 40 shares, and I sold it at 168. 67, 168.67. It got up to, the high was 170. So I'm very happy with that. That was $425. And we held that just overnight, basically 3 days, maybe 3. I think it was just 2 days. To get that stock, I ended up selling my CHD. So, the CHD we've been holding back from this little divergence here, and it's been slowly moving up. And this was, we sold it here at 107.19. It's pulled back to 106.15 now. It got up to about 108. I'm happy with that. I only had 30 shares. We made about $100 on it. It wasn't a big trade. I was just kind of tying up some money. I thought there was a much bigger move to be had in the MOG.a shares. Another one that we got on the pullback was Riley, and we sold it. And that was we bought Riley back here, and we've been holding it, and it wasn't doing much. Finally got the pop up at a gap up, and then ended up selling 40 shares at $30.50 back here when it gapped up. We got that pop. Had some good news, so I ended up selling early. I wanted to get back into it because I did feel like we were going to go higher, but I didn't pull the trigger, so it continued to move up here to about almost $40. So that was a nice move on that. But we made our money on it, which is fine. And as long as things work, they work. That's great. That's what we expect. TNA, still holding the TNA. That's a newer position. That's a Russell play on the Russell 2000. Now the market is looking good, and this is going to be a market moving stock. So it's going to go where the markets go. Most likely, you're not going to get a divergence between the TNA and the S&P or the Nasdaq. Pretty much, this will look just like the SPX, which it kind of does. You can see this has a little dip, or the Nasdaq, etc. So again, I still like the trade. I have 100 shares at $35.50. So right here at this level, it's nothing's changed or break even on it. Now, I rarely do this, but I ended up picking up some Teladoc this past week. It just started to look cheap with me, but this has always been an awful stock, and I bought it at 14. It's at 13. I didn't take a big position. I bought 100 shares of it. Seeing if we get a surprise on it. And there's no surprise, but you know what we see here? I see a potential divergence happening. So I'll know about that this week. If this is going to diverge up and out, this might actually be a bottom, because it looks like there was a little bounce. We didn't end on the lows. We have what looks like a divergence pattern. You have a low and a lower low, and you have the 60-10, the 14-10, really lagging there. And pretty much all we need is a good candle up, just to turn up, and you're going to have your divergence. And if you have your divergence on this, then our targets are going to start looking really good. I think we're going to get that rotation up. We'll probably talk about even getting back up here $15, $16. So that's this one's still in play, and I think it could be really in play if it does give us a full-fledged divergence. All right, on my birthday, I bought some ALB. At 113.15, and for a swing trade. Now, all these trades, if you want to look back at it and see all the positions and stuff, you can go to your dashboard up on the top where it says Trade Alerts, and you can just scroll back, and it'll give you all the activity and everything on that. So this is, very easy to follow along. I'm also going to be posting the portfolio in another section of the site as I build it. So the Teladoc, all right, so the ALB, and so I bought it on a quadruple long base here. Long base. I started seeing maybe just a rotation. Taking a shot on this, oversold, definitely oversold on the 9.3, 14.3. If we look at the weekly, nothing really out of the weekly here. That might even be negative. But this one, I'm just giving it a shot here. It's oversold. Not a big position, only 30 shares. but I'm in at 113.15. You know, we're in pretty good shape here. We're in pretty good shape. I'd like to get maybe $200, $300 on this trade. It's a small trade, but you know, very good entries. You know, everything is calculated. Everything is calculated. So we have our Starbucks, SBUX, and again, this you'll notice that this watch list is focused on quality names mostly, stocks that are, you know, not fly by night gambling stocks, penny stocks, or anything like that. These are usually quality names that belong in one of the indexes: NASDAQ, S&P, the Russell, or the Dow. You'll find any of these stocks in these. This was a coil stochastics and an HPS playbook trade. It's a great trade opportunity here when you get a coil and you're down over here, you know, and then you had the lower trend line, which was really the key. So we picked up Starbucks, 50 Starbucks. Told our last bought at 20 at 85. It's 88. So everything working out good with the stocks, really nice. I have a couple penny stocks that, also let's take a look at the Nike, NKE. NKE looking pretty good still. We're in that at 92.25, 92.25. And when I put this out here, it says it's going to be about a swing, over 10-day hold on this. And you can see where we got in, and it moved right up here. If we put this trend line and drag, yeah, it's already dropped back down there. Roll that down a bit here, extend it. You'll see there it is, so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, all right. I would even pay attention to this gap here. Now, this Nike's a good company. I don't know when the earnings are coming out on Nike, but that's another thing. I think they're coming up here quickly. Let's just check. Let's check on the earnings here. Hey Alexa, when are the earnings for Nike?
Nike's net income is $6.05 billion and it grosses $46.71 billion.
Alexa, when's the earnings date for Nike?
According to Zacks Investment Research, Nike is estimated to report its quarterly financial results on Thursday, July 4th. This estimated date could be revised by future company announcements.
It seems awful far away, but hey, we'll have to double check that. Either way, I'd probably end up holding this into Nike. I think this is a $100 stock pretty easy. Over $100 stock. I mean, look where this thing came down from 170. It's been beat up pretty good. I like the extended like these 3 downward channels, pop, another downward channel, pop, another downward channel. I think we get that pop over $100. It's 94 now. Continue to hold this. I'm going to continue to hold that. All right. We had the rent. We got rid of the rent. One of my favorites, Palo Alto Networks, PANW. The Pelosi stock. I thought we got in pretty good because it, we had that divergence. We have this kind of a high level divergence right here, and it's holding the 200 period movement. But it's been a sleeper. It's been a sleeper, but I'm fine with it. We're in at 278. $278 we're in. It's $291 right now. I'm just looking for a pop. I think this pops over 310. Other quality names here I've been picking up on the pullback. And again, small, usually about 30 shares of Pete's here. McDonald's, we bought McDonald's off the lower trend line here, and we're holding it. Our entry is 267.07. It's at 273. But, again, I do believe we're going to hold on to this a little bit more. Now, I do have also at CETSY, Oh, sorry about that. And, you know, not a bad coil there, and it did what it was going to do. But boy, it's taken its own time to get out of this tight range. So this is one that's not really going too far. It's not breaking down or anything. I'm in at 66.32. We're up about $1 on it. That's about it. Hey, that's still not bad, right? Remember the NEN? Some of these we look back at. This was a great entry down here. I ended up selling that at 37. Now it's at 42. So some of these stocks continue to pull. That was a nice pullback on that. And then it popped. It looks like an earnings pop. There's a couple of cheapies. And when the cheapies don't deserve on this list, I'm just updating you on it. We have the Forge, not doing much. I bought it at 197. It's 186. Again, these do not have anything to do with quality names or setups. I'm just kind of using this time to update everything with us, you know, for us. All right. So I have a couple new stocks for the week here coming up. All right, so we're going to get right into that. Also, Generac, GNRC is our last one that we're holding. GNRC. You could take profits in this at any point here. It's actually a reversal candle, so I'd be kind of a little concerned on that candle. See what happens over the next couple days. Move that sideways, and we'll just point it at that candle. We'll come back to it. So that's not bad, you know. It is starting to come out of the long base, big base down here. Slowly want to see that thing just kind of grind up here. Alexa, when is Generac's earnings date?
According to Zacks Investment Research, Generac Holdings is estimated to report its quarterly financial results on Wednesday, May 1st. This estimated date could be revised by future company announcements.
Well, that's Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up. So definitely want to, consider locking in profits on that. I mean, earnings are going to go either way. We'll probably dig down into that one on Tuesday a little bit more. But but still holding it and we have a pretty decent profit on it. A nice big profit on it, actually. My cost average is 117. I bought 40 shares at 118 and another 20 shares at 114. So some new stocks to start watching here is Block. Kind of a relative divergence. You see, we came down here. Now, this was the other day I marked this, but then we kind of came down. It's looking. We didn't really crossed over on the stochastics, and this is my definition of a hidden divergence. Sometimes is where you get that move down, but you don't see the dip in the stochastic, especially on the 9.3. 14.3, you see it maybe flatten out here a little, but typically, you get a nice drop, 2-day drop. You're going to see a bend in the dip here. But if you don't see anything, that's really strong underlying strength, internal strength, and that's what this looks like right now. And not everyone likes square, but I'm beginning to like this here. So I want to circle it again, represented, and we'll write it on our list. I want to just, it's almost a coil too. If I actually take a look at this. One more pullback might be the spot on this, but I think either way, because we're so close, even if we did get that little pullback and turn back up, we're probably in our zone that we want to get in on this. The zone is here, and it actually looks pretty good. I'm just gonna maybe write that down here. The other aerospace defense stock that when I found the MOG, the other one I found was DRS. DRS. And this was a divergence right here. And we're looking, again, a nice pop. And this had probably popped along with the earnings on the MOG. That probably helped, unless they had their own earnings at this time. Still looks great, you know. And look at the longer pattern here. This is a brand new stock. I wouldn't be surprised to see this continue to go like this for years. You know, just moving under the radar until it gets a little well. Right now, it's not known. It's under the radar. Not much volume traded. But, you know, headed in the right direction, you know. I might consider getting this one. I have it written down as a potential. Mosaic, I started to watch it because of the divergence here. It does make the list, you know, it does make the HPS list because of the divergence. But I don't see myself getting into this. Not yet. I mean, I think I just like more exciting stocks. Match.com. There was another one that had although we circled that one, that was a divergence too. That's looking interesting also. And then we have TAD. Then we have TAD. What is that? TA. Was it? No, that wasn't TAD. What is that? It's another misspell. Oh, you know what it was? It was TAP, Molson. I know what it was. Here it was. It was TAP, Molson Coors. And right on the 200 period moving average. Potential divergence on this one, TAP, TAP. And then we had the MOG, so we covered that. So I do have quite a few stocks on my scanner that's showing up as the S&P 500 divergences. So let's go through them. Not all of them. I'm looking at, it's going to give us the mathematical divergence signal, but we might not be able to see it visually. This is MSCI. And again, of course, this one got beat down big time with an ugly stick the other day, and now it's starting to climb back up. It's also a coil. I mean, this thing could actually climb right back up. We're going to just go through. I'll give you my opinion on each one of them. I see DNS here. It doesn't look like anything special. I do see the slight divergence there. It's on the 200 period moving average. Cadence design. It doesn't get oversold too often, and when it does, it bounces. This one's a little bit more extended, and doesn't have the same look and feel as a stochastic bounce. It's kind of losing there, but it's looking better now. I want to circle it. I want to circle that. Packaging Corp. Gap down, turning back up. You can see the minor divergence on that. That's it was a gap down play on the earnings. And it's, you know, whenever we have that and we kind of get a little bounce, pull back, you can start to see a little lift. ROST stores, double bottom divergence. You see it on the 200 period moving average. Now, why wouldn't I take this? Well, this one right now looks like the best so far that I've run across on this little scan. So I'm going to write it down, ROST. Has a much, you know, steeper turn back up on the 9.3, kind of a little ricochet move. We have a dual divergence signal down here. Volume was okay. Nice 200 period moving average. Yeah, this looks better. So far, the best one. PPG Industries. This is kind of flatline, so I would pass on that. That's hard to read. Here, a little steeper divergence, LKQ Auto Parts. Don't know anything about them. I'm going to pass. International Paper. Interesting. Look at the series of candles over the last 10 days or 6 days. We had a down move and an up, down, up, closed up, down. Just a lot more green candles were embedded here. Again, another situation where we can't really see the divergence that good. I can see it, and it is reading a divergence here with the low here and the higher low here, but it's not above the 90, the 80 line, which we like to see. But it is a divergence. And it's important to, kind of review these at one point, and I will when we go back and we look at all these next week. If we do look at these, Match.com came up on my divergence list. We already went over this one. Mosaic went over that. IVZ, not interested. And we did that one. So we did all these. All right, here's net. Net is one of my favorites, and it looks ready to go here. So we had that nice pullback off of net. All right, this pullback from 115 all the way down to 88 has a nice little pullback. Didn't really even turn on the stochastics. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Finally, here, starting to see the buy signal come in on net. Really do like it here. Definitely going to do something about this one. It's one of my favorites. It's actually the ROST stock so far, but let's write that net here. We'll review these one more time. But net does look good. It had that gap down. It never really moved on stochastics. Very similar to a couple other stocks we looked at on the pullback, and it looks good. Looks really good. Started this small position in this in March. It hasn't done much. It moved down a little. Didn't add to it, but this is a situation I really do like it in. Especially the hidden divergence, the turn down on the price. I don't know where this circle should be here. Well, actually, we'll put it right there. All right, so we liked it here on the pullback. Now we like it here. Still showing good strength. Look where this thing came from. Way back here. I just think it's a great pullback play. Very similar to another one that I see grinding up here over a long period of time. Is we looked at it earlier, the Generac. You see this channel that's starting to develop, pull back and push back high. I think we're just going to continue to grind on that. So net here, this first pullback, this is perfect. Perfect. Let's just finish off looking at some of the bigger stocks here. Apple, AAPL. It's heading up. It's heading back up. It doesn't look that bad. Nothing that's going to get me in right now. NFLX. Netflix, not interested. AMZN, not interested. 180. It doesn't look bad. It actually bounced back pretty good. Probably, and again, another hidden divergence on Amazon, AMZN. So write that down and mark that on your charts, because you're going to come back to that and you're going to see some bigger results on this, depending on what the market is. This will be a market leader if the market continues pushing higher because of this. So we want that. And let's take a look at Meta. You know what? This might actually start moving back up again. It didn't really turn over too hard. And Google, Alphabet, big gap up. It's in no man's land. It's probably going to continue. So that's it. I'm not going to chase that. I would say the best bet going into next week here is a toss-up between ROST, which has that nice divergence there. And I don't even know what ROST, I don't go into ROST stores. Net, that looks really good. Hidden divergence on that one. Square looks good. Big flag. Coil stochastic on that one. And that's my best ones. And the ones that we're holding will probably end up, maybe selling some this week and kind of lightening up on some of more longs. The net here is really does look like I want to really add to that. And also that stochastic in a very bullish area right here. All right. I hope you enjoyed that watch list. So if you think you know a stock that needs to be on the list, send it in. I'll put it on the list and give you credit for each week. Hope you enjoyed that. Tomorrow is Monday. The futures are on right now. They're up nice at the highs, just off the highs if they're there. And I'm doing a little trading tonight, so maybe I'll see you out there. It's 9:05 p.m. And I'll see you in the markets tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. That's how I go.